if you're going down the road, whenever you have a decision, whenever you have a choice, it's like you're going down the road, suddenly there's a fork. If you were clear at that moment, you wouldn't really be at a choice moment, a decision moment. But when you are at a real fork in the road in your life, it's an indication that you need a bigger perspective than the one you've got. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, the obvious thing to do would be obvious. And so, instead of being bummed out at that point that, wow, I've hit the limits of my knowing, I don't know what to do, realize that whenever you're making a decision, whenever you're faced with a choice moment, realize that you need the bigger perspective, and then don't make up your own mind. Put what you think on hold for the moment and just turn your mind, however works to think of it, just turn your mind to big mind. Get online, talk to Jesus, anything like that, and ask, like, what should I do in this moment? Be smart enough to know that you don't know.
Right.
And instead of that being a bummer, let it behoove you, or let it inspire you to get online. So instead of making your decisions based on your necessarily limited amount of info on your personal mind hard drive, instead of going there, because if the answer was there, you would know what to do at this moment. Mm-hmm. Instead of going into your mind about it, realize you don't know. Don't make up your own mind about it, and instead ask for guidance. Pause, ask, listen. At that point, you'll then hear, and hear in the sense of you'll feel inspired to do one thing rather than another. And at that point, it becomes a matter of trusting what you find yourself knowing. And the thing is, like, often the guidance that you hear is not going to make sense to pea-brain. Like to ground level perspective, the aerial view is not always going to make sense. But if it makes sense that it may not make sense, then you suddenly find yourself willing to trust into it, especially in those moments where you really need guidance and where it's clear that whatever you're doing is not working.
And so, is there a way to start small with this process?
And so the trick is start with easy things.
Yeah, you don't want to start with marriages or jobs. Those are the big things, right?
Start with easy things, and because most of life is pretty easy anyway. Most, like this morning it was, should I have Wheaties or cornflakes? Should I put on this shirt or the other shirt? Should I put on these pants or the other pants? And the tendency is to think, I don't need to ask Big Mind which shirt to wear. I don't want to bug Big Mind with, I can get dressed by myself. But it's sort of like whenever you have a decision, getting dressed, what to eat for breakfast, what time to leave. From now on, whenever you notice you're making a decision, don't make up your own mind, but and my experience is that if you practice it on the easy things and you are being online, then you are being congruent with the way things work, and you'll find yourself not getting slammed quite so much. And so especially if there is a big issue that you're concerned about, should I quit the job? Should I marry this person or this person? When you have a vested interest in what the answer is, the tendency is to tighten up and not listen very well, because you want it to go a certain way. But if you have a vested interest in the way it goes, then you're gonna like be putting this torque on your listening ability. And the more you do that, and you can do that.
Well, and as I see you doing that, the more you're torquing, the more your physical body is actually torquing too.
Exactly,
right?
yeah,
You're
right.
closing down,
Right.
creating tension.
Exactly. And you're free to do that. And you're equally free to like not do that anymore. and to the best of your ability, just like be online all the time. And then give expression to what you find yourself knowing. And it won't feel like, super duper insights all the time. It'll just mostly feel like,
Yeah.
surfing through life.